Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 6. Module 6 is the middle module for our cause and effect essay. So you started learning about cause and effect in the previous module. In the next module, you'll start actually drafting a final draft. So this module is devoted to the rough draft stage. So unlike the narrative essay where you just did one draft and it was the final draft, this essay, you're going to we're going to stretch out the process just a little bit more. And so you're going to do a rough draft that you'll turn in as well. So got quite a few things to work on. I'm going to go over the mindful reading exercise first because that's kind of separate. It's not related to the cause and effect essay. And these two assignments here are going to take you the longest. So you may want to start in on your draft first and then do this mindful reading as it comes to, as you have some time to do it. So this mindful reading exercise is asking you to practice the skill of mapping. So we've done skimming, we've done some just reflection on what's difficult to read. Now you're going to practice mapping. So mapping, it looks like this, and that is where you take kind of the central topic within an article and you look at how those different how the central topic's broken down into different topics. And you can get maps that are pretty complex based on what you see being discussed within an article. So the task is asking you, or the exercise is asking you to do two maps. The first one is just based on the first two pages. So you're going to, if you want, you just pick an article from the textbook. You can scroll down. Actually, it might be easier to look in the table of contents. There's quite a few examples of different readings that are in here. And so you can take a look here. In one of the sections toward the end is some of the readings, part 2 readings. And so you can just click on one if you want, and it kind of takes you down there. And there are a whole bunch of different readings that you can do. And like this one, Facebook, the third binary and third person pronouns. So that's all one article. And so if you decide to do this one, then you would look on the first 2 pages. So this page and this page, and you would map the ideas that are presented thus far. And you're going to do that. And then you'll take that same map and you will make a copy of it and expand it, or you could just add to it using a different color, just so I can see that you have done the first 2 pages and then the rest of the article. And you're going to expand on your original map by looking at the rest of the article. And so most of these articles, they have at the bottom like some questions that you can think about that might help. Just thinking about what are the main points that the author's covering and that kind of thing. So when you're done, you'll either have 2 maps or you'll have 1 map with kind of 2 sections to it, and that's fine. But you want to make sure that they're distinguished. Now, to create a map, you can do it in a Word document. You know, when you open up your Word document, you have that option to insert shapes and lines, which, you know, can take a little while to do, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. But you put in your shape, but then you also have to add in text to be able to type in there, and then you create your lines to connect your ideas. And so it takes a little while to make each individual shape. You can also hand draw it, which is also fine. If you do, make sure that you take a picture of it and put it into a Word document so that I'm not trying to open some weird image file that you're giving to me. So that is an option for that one. So once you have that kind of out of the way, the other 2 assignments are related to the cause and effect assignment. So you brainstormed here, free write and thesis and outline. Make sure you go back to, especially the thesis and outline is where I leave the feedback on whether or not your topic will work. And then now you're going to work on 2 different assignments here related to that. So the first one that you should do first really is concentrating on single paragraph. The single paragraph is intended to help you focus on how to write just a good paragraph. We're thinking unity, cohesion, clarity. You make sure that you're using your topic that you pick for the cause and effect essay, thinking about your working thesis, and then you're going to familiarize yourself with how to write paragraphs. And then you've got 2 options. You can either write a single paragraph that covers your entire essay. So that would be your main thesis and then just kind of a broad idea of your main points. So you're essentially turning your outline into a paragraph. And that the intention is that that can be expanded into a full essay. So each sentence would end up being roughly a paragraph once you expand it into an essay. The other option is to just write a paragraph that covers one of your topics that you'll talk about. So either one cause or one effect. And so this would be a body paragraph that would fit into the rough draft. So some students, if they're maybe a little bit more confident, can actually start writing their rough draft. And once you get one body paragraph done, you can take that body paragraph and submit it to this assignment. So because it's just that paragraph that you're submitting. It's kind of up to you which you prefer. Some students kind of like the idea of, we take an outline and we make something short with it and then we can expand it. And some students just want to jump right into the rough draft because they're going to need one anyway. And so then they just pull a paragraph out, copy, paste it into a new document and submit it here. So the only thing you turn in here is one single paragraph with topic sentence, minimum of 5 sentences, and then expands on that main topic that you're covering, and then use of sentence level transitions. So we're focusing really specifically on making sure you can write one single unified paragraph. It is more challenging than it sounds. So that's something to just kind of think about, is we're just practicing that one skill. So we're really trying to isolate it. The next thing that you'll do is actually write out a full draft of your essay. And so I've got this page here that just kind of goes over how to write a draft, what should be included in a draft, what you want to include in your body paragraphs, what you want to be looking at in your kind of self-revision. Is your thesis explicitly stated? Do you focus on causes and effects, that kind of thing. And then you're going to turn in a self-edited draft. So your task is to finish writing your essay, and then you're going to go in and actually make comments on your essay. So I'll show you what that's like. Okay, so I've submitted my essay here, and you can see on the side it says submission details. I'm going to click on that, and this is how you review any feedback on any of your assignments if it's in line. So it's something that I made little bubble comments on. General comments will be kind of left on the side, but if I'm leaving you specific feedback, then you're going to see it here. So you'll go to view feedback. You can tell I've uploaded this more than once, so it's plagiarizing itself. So you go to view feedback, and then this should bring up your file, right? And that helps you to know that you've done it correctly. If you expand it here using this tool, you can see the whole thing much easier. Now what you're going to do is you're going to leave yourself some feedback on your own essay. So I'm going to go through and read my own essay, and if I see a mistake, then I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to explain this is a mistake. Or if I realize, wow, I need to add a conclusion, or something like that, then I'm leaving myself notes for what I need to improve on. I'm recognizing errors that I've made, that kind of thing. And you've got a whole range of tools up here to use. You can draw on it if you want to, which is, we're going to do the same thing for peer editing. So students sometimes like to draw on it. The only thing is that you can add text if you want, but then it doesn't tell me anything. It's just the text there, so I can't see why you might have added that. So I generally tend to tell students just to make the little comments on the side. That way they have those reminders, and it also gives you your name, so that I can then go through and count how many you did to make sure you did the assignment. So escape gets you out of that screen, and then you'll be done with the assignment if you do it that way. So just kind of keep in mind that it's more than just turning in a draft. You're actually turning it in and then also annotating it. So it's going to take a little while while to complete that step. So this whole module, since you have the 2 assignments that you're writing plus the mindful reading, you're going to want to get started right away because otherwise you'll get behind here. So these take multiple steps to complete. So if you have any questions as you're completing those assignments, make sure that you send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.